This isn't science fiction, this is the brutal reality farmers live with every single day. When nature's most ruthless invasive species starts targeting people, the question isn't if you're ready, it's how long you'll survive. Are you prepared to face the threat that's already at your doorstep? Komodo dragon attacks, a growing crisis on the farm. This isn't just another wildlife encounter, this is a full-blown crisis. When Komodo dragons strike, they don't just kill livestock, they wipe out livelihoods. Farmers can lose up to 300 ducks and 60 goats every week, slashing their revenue by as much as 30%. That's not just numbers on paper, that's food off tables, kids pulled from school, and families pushed to the edge. These apex predators don't roar, they wait. Lurking in the shadows, they strike with deadly precision, turning peaceful farmland into a hunting ground soaked in fear. The threat grew so serious that in 2022, the government joined forces with the World Wildlife Fund to launch a national population control program. But let's be clear, Komodo hunting isn't a free-for-all. Only elite, licensed teams, trained and approved by the Ministry of Environment and Forestry, are allowed to track and manage these dangerous animals. And even then, permits are tightly restricted, just 40 to 70 issued per year. Why? Because while these creatures are deadly, they're also endangered. The goal isn't extinction, it's balance. We protect farmers. We protect ecosystems. And we protect the species. But the question remains. When the hunter becomes the hunted, are we truly prepared? Komodo dragon hunting, a battle for survival. This isn't your average wildlife encounter, this is war. Every Komodo dragon hunt is a high-stakes operation, monitored down to the last detail. Hunters must report every takedown within 24 hours, submitting weight logs and photographic evidence. One mistake, one unreported kill, and you're banned for life. No second chances. Comment 0 if your area doesn't even have these kinds of regulations. But make no mistake, Komodo dragons are not easy targets. These prehistoric predators can hit speeds of 12 miles per hour, ambush with terrifying speed, and land a venomous bite strong enough to take down full-grown livestock. The question is, do you have the guts to face them? Only high-powered rifles like the .308 or .338 Winchester Magnum are trusted to end a hunt in a single shot. But even then, it's not enough. Hunters rely on long-range scopes, infrared sensors, and advanced tracking tech to stay ahead of a creature that's been perfecting the art of ambush for millions of years. Out in the field, it's not just about skill, it's about survival. Teams wear bite-resistant boots, reinforced gloves, and specialized body armor to stand a chance. And every hunt team is required by law to have at least 8 to 10 members. If someone's injured, evacuation begins immediately, before the Komodo can strike again. and the strategy is working. Since controlled hunting began, livestock attacks have dropped by over 65%, and human Komodo encounters are down 30%. For the first time in years, villages are safer, and families can breathe again. But here's the real question. Is controlled hunting enough, or just the beginning? The government doesn't think the job is done. That's why they're ramping up education and prevention strategies, the second front in this war. Villagers are being trained to recognize Komodo behavior, spot warning signs before an attack, and take action. Meanwhile, steel-reinforced fences, early warning systems, and fortified livestock areas are being deployed to stop the dragons before they strike. Could these defenses be the real key to ending the conflict? Or will controlled hunting remain our most powerful weapon? We want to hear what you think. Should we double down on prevention, or continue the hunt? Drop your thoughts in the comments and join the conversation. And hit that like button if you want to stay updated on the world's most dangerous wildlife battles. Because this story isn't over. The wild boar invasion, a crisis with no end. This is a story that refuses to end. Last fall, Texas farmers faced an invasion unlike anything they'd seen before, an onslaught of wild boars that ravaged cornfields and tore through farmland like a storm with hooves. With a sense of smell so sharp they can detect food from 15 miles away, these invasive beasts didn't just eat, they devoured crops, trampled seedlings, and left behind deep footprints of destruction before anything could even sprout. The damage was swift, brutal, and total. And this isn't just one bad season. Wild boars cause an estimated $500 million in damage every year across Texas alone, and that number keeps climbing. Why? Because these animals reproduce faster than we can stop them. Each sow can give birth to up to 12 piglets per litter, and they can breed multiple times a year. That means a single pair of pigs can turn into hundreds within months, all tearing through crops, polluting water sources, and wrecking ecosystems in their path. They have no natural predators, no restraint, and no boundaries. From cornfields to pastures, from family farms to major operations, nothing is safe. These animals are not just a nuisance, they're a growing agricultural nightmare. The question is, how do you fight an enemy that multiplies faster than you can shoot, trap, or fence out? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Is aggressive population control the only answer, or is it time for a new strategy? Because when nature goes wild, it's not just crops at risk, it's our entire food system. How farmers are fighting back against the wild boar invasion. When bullets aren't enough and fences fail, Texas farmers are turning to a smarter solution: wire cage traps. These traps have become the frontline defense in the war against wild boars. Why? Because they're effective, affordable, and capable of stopping an entire herd in a single night. Strategically placed near water sources or in the heart of devastated fields, these traps are baited with corn mixed with oil or strong-smelling attractants, a scent no boar can resist. But this isn't old-school trapping. Cages are equipped with motion sensors and surveillance cameras that send instant alerts to farmers' phones the moment boars enter the trap. It's high-tech, real-time protection for crops and property. Installation isn't guesswork. It takes precise planning to maximize results, and it works. With regular checks and basic upkeep, a single high-quality wire cage trap can last 5 to 7 years, making it a long-term investment in farm security. Unlike traditional hunting, which targets one animal at a time, these traps can capture entire sounders, the large family groups that do the most damage. That means more boars removed, faster, with less labor and risk. And the results speak for themselves. According to Texas Wildlife Services, the widespread use of cage traps is saving farmers an estimated $75 million per year in economic losses, just in Brazos County alone. That's not just progress, it's a game changer. In the fight against wild boars, wire cage traps are turning the tide, giving farmers the tools they need to protect their land, their livestock, and their livelihoods. The relentless hunt to save Texas from wild boars. In the fight against invasive species, one battle never stops, the hunt for wild boars. Across Texas, this hunt takes place year-round, but it intensifies during the cooler winter months, December through February, when wild boars are more active, aggressive, and destructive. And the action doesn't happen under the sun. Nightfall is when the real hunt begins. Boars become bolder under cover of darkness, but so do the hunters. Armed with shotguns loaded with slugs or buckshot, they patrol the fields, aided by one of their most powerful tools, thermal binoculars. These high-tech optics detect heat signatures, allowing hunters to identify targets from a distance, without making a sound. Stealth, accuracy, and speed, that's how you stop a herd before it strikes again. And if you're hunting wild boars on private land in Texas, there's even more good news. As of May 31st, 2019, no hunting license is required. But on public land, a valid hunting license is still mandatory. Are you a Texas hunter? Comment one below, and if your region has different rules, drop them in the comments to help others stay informed. But this isn't just sport, it's an act of protection. Every wild boar taken down is one less threat to crops, water supplies, and local ecosystems. But the job doesn't end with the kill. Responsible hunters ensure the carcasses are properly disposed of to prevent environmental contamination. To those who still question this relentless effort, consider this. Without hunters, the damage would be catastrophic. Wild boars would tear through farmland unchecked, destroying livelihoods and threatening the very natural beauty of Texas. This isn't just about hunting. It's about defending the land, protecting the people, and preserving the future. Helicopter hunting, the sky war on wild boars. Imagine looking down from 150 feet above the ground, flying over devastated farmland, watching the aftermath of an invasion in real time. That's not a war zone, it's Texas. The state's wild boar crisis has pushed authorities to authorize a bold tactic: helicopter hunting. Under Texas law, this high-altitude strategy is completely legal, but only for those with a special permit from Texas Parks and Wildlife. It's a tool reserved for highly trained individuals and professional organizations, because when you're firing from a chopper, precision isn't optional, it's survival. And it works. "You're not just hunting wild boars," said one veteran pilot who's flown over 300 aerial hunts. "You're stopping an invasive species attack from the air." During the 2024 hunting season, aerial teams successfully eliminated over 7,500 wild boars in central Texas alone, a staggering number that directly reduced crop damage and gave local farmers a fighting chance. Each flight lasts 3 to 5 hours, with skilled marksmen taking out 30 to 50 animals per mission, depending on terrain and herd density. It's fast. It's efficient. And it's making a measurable impact. But even with these airborne victories, the fight is far from over. Every hunt is just one step toward restoring ecological balance, a step toward reclaiming the land from an invasive enemy that never sleeps. Do you think aerial hunting is the future of invasive species control? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your experience, your ideas, and your concerns. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive into the tactics, tech, and teams shaping the war against invasive wildlife. Because this is more than hunting. It's a mission to protect the land we love.